What's up, YouTube family? Gerald Greenlee here with Cleaning Green Lawn Services in South Georgia. Just out doing a little bit of ministry actually this morning, but I thought I'd do a check-in, at least an intro to the video. I will be hopefully, well actually right now, you know, when you're gone a week, so I was on vacation from our church last week, and so when you're gone a week, all you know, life goes on and other things have to be done and this, that, and the other. So it's Monday morning now and I'm trying to get caught up. I'm actually headed to Savannah, Georgia. Be over there in Blades of Grass, Johnny's territory this morning. Going over to the hospital to check on somebody, and got a visitation to go to this afternoon for somebody that passed away, and then of course I got all kind of other office kind of stuff that I need to try to get done today, and you know, administrative stuff. It rolls on whether you're at work or not. So but I do have 2 new properties to look at, so somewhere in the midst of traveling around today, I'm going to try to go look at those. One of them is a small yard in a subdivision. It's probably, I call it small, might be big to some of y'all, probably like a ½ acre or something like that. And then I have another property to go look at out in a more rural setting, and I talked to a daughter who was calling on behalf of her mother, who is the homeowner, to get somebody to keep the property up, and she guesstimated at about 2 acres. So anyway, we'll look at that and see. And honestly, if I get these 2 properties, I'm really going to be maxed out. So probably won't even be looking at any more properties. I'm already in a situation where but you know, sometimes you lose customers, so it's good to have a buffer in there. You know how that works, just different things. But I'm in a situation right now where if I got some rain or something, got really bad for a couple of weeks in the growing season, that I'd be in trouble. So anyway, just trying to keep an eye on that. Again, I do have somebody to help me out if I need it. So we'll just kind of see how all that goes. But anyway, just want to check in with y'all, and hope all of you are having a great day, and hopefully I can get you a little bit of footage maybe at these properties that I'm going to be giving an estimate on. So again, appreciate you watching. Hope you have a great day. All right, guys and gals, I hope all of this dirt road doesn't mess up my recording. I just went to the first property and took a look at it, just kind of see what's in the yard, see what needs to be done. Small yard, I'm going to guess a ½ acre, somewhere around in that neighborhood. I don't have a measuring wheel. What I do is I go and look at the property, figure out where the lines are, give me some landmarks. Like this one's got a big tree, magnolia tree right on the property line, and the camera's going crazy up there. Maybe I can hold it or try it. So I'll go home, and then it's got little lanes around it, gravel lanes in that neighborhood. So I'll go home and get on Google Maps, and I'll map that thing out and get the square footage of it, and then figure out, you know, what the acreage is on it. I forgot to get my camera out when I got there, so I'm headed to the second property, which is down a road, a nasty road. I actually have a church member that lives on this road, and it's bad. So they just graded it, which means now it's going to rain, obviously, but you just never get all the washboard out, and if you do, you mess up the hard pan, and then you get stuck on it. So it's a lose-lose situation out here in this on these kind of roads. But anyway, it is what it is. So getting ready to pull up to the next property, hopefully here in just a minute, and I'll give you a little quick view of it. All right, if my calculations are right, according to what I was just told, this is the property that I'm going to be looking at right here, and that looks like her outside. Looks like her little dog that's trying to bite my truck tires. So let me get in here and check this out. All right, here we go. It's a big scan of the property. Pretty big place here. All right, so that's the second property. I like to go out and look over the properties. I'm sure most of you do this, but I know some people do it from Google Maps, and some people give out estimates without looking, but I like to go look at the property. Now, if somebody, for example, if somebody has a large property, let's say I had a lady call me one time, she had about 6 or 7 acres, and she wanted me to give her an estimate on it. And so, I don't know how y'all handle this, but a lot of people have no idea what lawn care costs. And so, when I have somebody that has, say, 4 acres plus, one of the first things I ask them is, have you had anybody else servicing the property? And if they say yeah, then, you know, that's kind of a green flag. We can kind of move forward and talk about it. But if they say no, you know, we've been doing it, and I don't have time, my husband doesn't have time, we changed jobs, we got kids now, you know, any number of reasons why they might have been doing it, but they stopped doing it. So I just asked this question. I said, well, do you have any idea what it would cost to service a property that size? So, for example, let's say a 4-acre property, I would say to the homeowner, let me just give you a very generic ballpark figure. At 4-acre property in our area, I am almost certain that you won't find anybody that will service your property for less than $40 an acre. That's mow, trim, edge, blow. That's not any hedges or anything like that. That's just a mowing service, if you will. And what I found in several cases is, so 4-acre property, $160 minimum. And again, I say to the person, you'll probably be hard pressed to find anybody that will do it for that price. Now, any reputable lawn care service anyway. And so when you stop and you think about that, a lot of times people go, wow, I had no idea that it would cost that much. And then it, you know, and they're not interested anymore. And so what it does, it saves me a trip, saves me time of even going to look at something when the person doesn't have any interest in all in doing it. So of course, this property I just looked at on the phone, I was told that it was, you know, maybe around 2 acres or something like that. And I really think, now it's not a square or a rectangle property, but I really think once I do this out on Google Maps that it's going to be over 2 acres. And so you know, we'll just kind of go with it and see what happens. And of course, you know, one of the, I don't want to say a downfall to business, but you know, for me, again, doing this part-time, not necessarily making a living off of it, I do make money off of it. I don't want to give the idea that I just do everything for free, but I have a soft spot for elderly people. And so this is one of those deals where, you know, if I, just in general, if I run into somebody that needs a service but maybe doesn't have the kind of money it takes to, you know, pay for good quality lawn care, oftentimes it ends up being at a highly discounted rate. So now I don't do that with everybody, because you kind of get to know people, and I'm not trying to be Robin Hood, but some people can afford full price, and if they can, I don't have any issue with doing that. But there are also some people, especially elderly people on very fixed incomes, they just don't have much, and they're not able to do it. You know, so if their kids or somebody's not willing to foot the bill, if they even have kids, you know, it still needs to be done. So I try to be sensitive to that. And hey, you know, part of what ministry is what I do. It doesn't matter if it's through lawn care or through what it is, so, you know, or whatever I'm doing. And so, you know, I just look at it like that. Again, if I had to feed a family off of lawn care, perhaps, you know, I might be forced to look at it differently, or at least forced to have enough well-to-do clients that I could be the Robin Hood of lawn care to some people. But anyway, just something, you know, I like to keep in mind, and, you know, I'd encourage you to do that. Here's one thing I found. You said, well, you can't do it for free, you got to make money on it. I found this out in life. You can't outgive God. And so God owns the cattle on 1,000 hills, and he owns the hills that the cattle's on. So, you know, he's able to bless in different ways, and so I just keep that in mind. So anyway, I'm going to get back to enough rambling. I'm going to get back to the office, and I'm going to pull these couple of properties up, punch in some of the notes that I made while I was on the properties, and get some estimates and shoot them out. Both of these are bi-weekly services. With bi-weekly, what I do, now our grass is not, most of it doesn't grow super fast here, and so this is what I do on bi-weekly. I know people got a ton of different ways doing it. Some people say if it's $50 bi-weekly, it's $50 weekly, it's $100 bi-weekly. Okay, so you might as well do it weekly. If you can get that from people where your market is, and if that's your customer base, then that's great. Some people do 50% on top of it, so they go, the cut's $50. If I do it bi-weekly, it's $75. And again, if you can do that and that works for you, that's great. If you have some grass that grows really fast, that's probably a great idea to do it that way. Mostly here, there are some exceptions to this, but mostly here what I do is weekly is one price, and then bi-weekly is 25% more. So, you know, that's just kind of my standard that I use. Now, if somebody had a yard that was very thick and it grew very fast, and, you know, we're going to get knee-high and tear up equipment on bi-weekly, then obviously I'd charge them like I were doing the first time cleanup, you know. But generally speaking, I do the 25%. So I said all that to say this. Both of these are bi-weekly. I'll be figuring up price, shooting them over this afternoon, and we'll kind of see where it goes from there. And I just think, you know, praise the Lord, if these two quotes happen to go through, I'm practically overbooked. So that'll pretty much be the end of me taking clients for this season, and just kind of see how things go. Anyway, appreciate you watching. If you hadn't already, love for you to hit the like if you liked it. If you didn't like it, hit the dislike, okay? But subscribe, hit the little bell, drop me a comment. Love to get to know you. May you see all of your blessings from the Lord. Y'all have a great day.